Welcome back. So on today's topic, I'm gonna be explaining 5 things I love and hate about my Jay-Z swapped RX-7. She's been through a lot. She's seen a lot of things, hit a lot of things, broken a lot of things, stitched a lot of things. Family has burnt a lot of things. This car, I've always wanted one since I was 8 years old. The power that it just put out was just not enough, man. Like, of course it was fun, but it just wasn't enough. The thing that all rotary owners know is that turn the key, everything's perfect, you go to start it. Uh-oh, you're stranded, you're stuck, oh god, you can't finish the event. Just one thing I couldn't get over, just the endless amount of cranking on my now deceased rotary motor. About this car is that the brittleness of the plastic is just horrible. Like, my speaker just fell out. But hey, what can you expect from a 32-year-old car with a broken bezel? What makes the FC so great is that the chassis is just awesome. The steering is awesome, suspension's awesome, and that it's a pretty dang looking car from factory. I mean, if you saw this rolling down the street, you'd be like, oh, damn. For you guys out there might be asking why I swapped the motor. And I swapped the motor because the rotary motor generally was pretty good half the time. It was pretty fun to have, but it didn't make sense just because it was NA. And I rebuilt it twice with goopy apex seals and FD side seals and all that stuff from Atkins Rotary and whatnot. But the reason why I put the 1J in is that I've always loved Jay-Z's in my life. I got my dream car right here, and I got my dream motor right here. It sounds fantastic, it makes good power, and it's really easy to add power onto this motor, unlike a rotary where you have to do a bunch of things like peripheral port or bridge port or street port, which can be a hassle since you have to take the whole thing apart. Whereas this motor, if you really wanted cams to sound like that, bro, you can just take off the top of the motor, replace the cams, 272 cams, good, lifter springs, all that stuff with the tune on the ECU master ECU, and you are good to go. You're good to rip instead of taking apart the whole motor. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it's just an inconvenience. I had to use Home Depot parts just to get it to work properly. Yes, it's horrible. Oh my goodness, this is only going to cause rust and all kind of unforeseen issues that just will not be good. Not to mention my cooling system is running over to my spare power steering canister that used to go on the pump. It makes awesome power, it makes me smile every day. But the engine also sits higher than the radiator, and it makes it a pain in the butt to bleed coolant until I get a bung welded right here and get it all properly situated. Nonetheless, it still rips and it still dips. I built this whole relay assembly with 2 fuse junctions, one for ignition, one for constant for important stuff like the ECU. And I ran it all underneath the carpet right here. I haven't buttoned it up, but it's very nice. But the thing about the FC chassis is that the way everything is wired makes it very easy to relocate anything that you need. So this, for example, is my body harness, as this too, but it also contributes to my ECU and stuff where these fuses come into play, and these relays, which allow you to do easy stuff like a kill switch. Some of them came 4-lug and some of them came 5-lug, but the 4-lug assemblies came with a single piston caliper, whereas the 5-lug version came with the quad piston caliper, which really is good for braking. It's really fun to drive. I mean, it makes really good power, and despite it kind of knocking off the 50-50 ratio, it keeps up with a lot of American cars, a lot of other Japanese cars, a lot of other cars that are pretty quick on the road. And it's just always been a blast to have this kind of power in the car. Well guys, that was the 5 things I loved and hated about my RX-7. This thing rips, it dips, it shifts, it does everything, and it's magic. So I'll see you guys later.